Hey everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at the future of Jewish basketball. These guys are making a name for themselves on and off the court, and here's why you should keep an eye on them. Before we do that, I'd like to address that the NBA isn't becoming Jewish. If anything, it's a revival of its already Jewish roots. On November 1st, 1946, the Toronto Huskies hosted the Knicks at Maple Leaf Gardens in the first game in the history of the BAA, which is now the NBA. Knicks starter Ossie Schechman, one of 4 Jewish Knicks starters starting that day, made the first shot of the game and the first ever shot in NBA history. Yes, you heard that right. The first ever bucket in NBA history was made by a Jew.
It was quite a thrill, and I think back, first 2 points scored in the NBA.
I could argue about that.
But now, let's take us all the way to 2024. And before I start my list, let's just say the order doesn't matter as much as the players do. If I miss the player you think deserves to be here, comment down below and enjoy the rest of the video. Starting us off at number 10, Ryan Turell. Turell was the first Orthodox Jewish player drafted into the NBA G League, but he only averaged around 10 minutes per game and over 2 seasons played with the Pistons G League affiliate Motor City, and as a starter, he did average 20.5 points off 58% shooting and 50% from 3. Good numbers, right? But things did not click on the bench, only averaging 3.5 points off 38% shooting. This summer, Ryan signed with a team in the Israeli League's first division. Hopefully, he can get his stock higher and finally reach his NBA dreams. And for number 9, I'd have to give it to Roman Sorkin. Although it was just announced that Sorkin extended his stay in Maccabi Tel Aviv for 5 more years, he's going to be there until 2029. Last year, he was named MVP of the Israeli League while averaging 16.2 points and 5.9 rebounds, which actually landed him a spot on the Warriors before he chose Maccabi. I actually spent a lot of money, time, and waiting for delayed flights, long story, waited like 9 hours, to watch Sorkin play live in the California Classic, where he averaged 8 points and 7 rebounds with little minutes. He is getting old, but I still see the potential, and he will be a great player with Maccabi Tel Aviv. Coming in at number 8 is Noam Yaacov. He averaged 17.8 points, 8.2 assists, and 1.5 steals for Asvel under Tony Parker before being loaned to Hapoel Jerusalem and winning the Israeli Basketball State Cup. Yaakov played for Israel in the 2023 FIBA Under-20 European Championship and averaged a solid 13.1 points, 4.4 rebounds, and 7.6 assists, being selected to the All-Tournament team. This season, though, he's been loaned to Hapoel Tel Aviv, and as you've all heard, he will play alongside Patrick Beverley. When asked about him playing for Hapoel, Tony Parker said, "We want to help him get to the NBA, and Hapoel will give him the opportunity to have a lot of playing time." Then coming in at number 7, we've got a guy that's being talked a lot about right now, Danny Wolf. He's 7 feet, he's insane, he went crazy last year for Yale, led the Ivy League with 310 rebounds, which translates to 9.7 rebounds per game and 1.3 blocks per game. Scored 176 field goals, which was 3rd in the league, while being 4th in field goal percentage. He just recently transferred to play for the Michigan Wolverines in the Big Ten, which is wild to me, because he grew up as a Michigan fan, nearly joined the Wolverines as a walk-on 3 years ago, and is now playing alongside another 7-footer in Vlad Golden. He is currently projected in the mock drafts to be an early second-round pick in the 2025 or 2026 NBA draft. But I think with what he does with the Wolverines, he could determine his draft stock, and I think, to be honest, he could be an easy first-round pick. We're getting a little fast here. We're ready at number 6, and I've got to go with Omer Mayer. The 6'4 guard averaged 18, 6, and 5 to lead Israel to 4th place in the FIBA Under-18 tournament, clutching up at the end of the tourney, averaging 26, 6, and 7 with incredible shooting numbers. And listen, he's only 17 years old doing this. He was a FIBA Under-18 All-Tournament second-team select, along guys like Nolan Turell, who was a top 7 pick in the 2025 draft. He's up there with these guys, and I'm really excited to see what he can do for Maccabi Tel Aviv. And I know he's really under the radar right now in terms of, draft prospects, but he could definitely be a sleeper pick in the 2026 NBA draft. And now, coming in at number 5, a lot of you might argue with this, but I have to give it to Yam Madar. And before, you say anything else, yes, he did fall off a cliff. But the fact is, he's still an NBA draftee to the Boston Celtics. There hasn't been much news about him in a while as a draft and stash player. He could have had a ring by now, but sadly that wasn't the case. He was moved to Bayern basketball in Germany for the upcoming season. After playing last season for Fenerbahce, I can't even try to pronounce that, of the Turkish League and EuroLeague, NBA teams retain draft rights forever. So right now, Yam is still a Celtic, technically. Even though he's playing overseas, the Celtics still have his draft rights. Unless another NBA team comes knocking his door and he wants to go there, all the Celtics have to do is renounce his draft rights and he'll be a free agent. So, he's a very great player, but very complicated, but you have to put him here. There's no list complete without him.
Hey Bayern fans, what's up? It's Yam Madar here. I just arrived in Munich. I'm very excited and happy to be here. Very excited to meet everyone. See you soon.
So at number 4, we're going with maybe the most hyped player on this list, and that is Shon Abaev. People are saying he could be a top 10 pick after winning the MVP at this year's Under Armour Elite 24. He's getting praise from guys like former Israeli legend Omer Mayer, Brandon Jennings, and even Gilbert Arenas on a show Gil's Arena.
In terms of like a talent standpoint out there, it's Elite 24, so is the future of American hoops in good hands with this next generation?
Yeah, man, some great talent out there. My man Sean got MVP.
Light-skinned kid?
Yeah, he's nice. He's a killer.
He's got offers from over 25 D1 schools, has official visits lined up to USC, Syracuse, Auburn, and more. At 6'7", he was previously ranked as the number 35 overall player in the 2025 on-through ranking. And that rank is just going to get higher as the summer. With SOH Elite, he averaged 21.1 points and 6.5 rebounds while shooting 43% from the field. You're going to hear his name a lot next year. But now let's go to someone who's getting all the talk right now. And that someone is number 3. And as you all know it, it's Ben Saraf. He did so damn good in the FIBA Europe Under-18 with Israel that he went from unranked to a projected early first-round pick. That was probably one of the greatest performances I've ever watched. Seeing him getting to spots off quick dribble moves made him seem like the Flash on the court. Had an answer for every coverage defense thrown at him, attacked defenders, and was even insanely effective even without the ball in his hands. He's what everyone thought Deni was going to be, coming in right away into the league. He's developed so fast and is so athletic. And if he can shoot the 3 really, really consistently this year, he should be a damn lottery pick. He scored 46 points more than anyone else at the FIBA Eurobasket, scoring 40 twice with 8 steals in a game, averaging 28.1 points, 5 rebounds, 5.3 assists, 4 steals. And he took home the U18 Eurobasket 2024 MVP with one of the greatest performances in the Under-18 Eurobasket history, if not the greatest. And at number 2, of course, the man that got me into a whole new level of NBA fandom, and a lot of others, Deni Avdija. Been watching him for almost 6 years, and it's crazy he's still only 23 years old. And only now just had his career best season, finishing in 6th in Most Improved Player of the Year voting. Went from averaging 9.2 points to 14.7. And I see that going up to over 20. And you might say, I don't think that. I don't know if he's going to go over 20. He might improve, but not to over 20. But Deni himself said in the film The Summer of Avdija, I don't want to look back at my career and feel in retrospect I could have been a 20 points per game scorer and didn't become that. I don't want to look back in retrospect and feel I could have been an all-star and didn't achieve that. I feel I'm there. But it all depends on how the Blazers treat him. Will Chauncey Billups give him the same minutes Brian Keefe did? And will the Blazers trade Jeremy Grant to make way fully for Deni? There's no answers to these questions yet. But Blazers assistant GM Mike Schmitz has been a fan of Deni from the start. When he was drafted, even called Deni the steal of the draft.
I think this is going to be the steal of the draft, to be honest. I think Deni Avdija, when we look back 5 years from now, we're going to see a guy who could be the best player even to come out of this draft. And it starts with his basketball IQ and his versatility. He's tremendous in the open court. and he has great size, 6'10". He's a fiery competitor, 225 pounds. He's tremendous getting downhill to his right. He's great attacking closeouts. He can really facilitate, and an underrated defender as well. He's very multi-positional on that end of the floor, and he can put you on a poster in space. He's really improved as a perimeter shooter as well. He can handle the ball. I think he has a chance to become not just a 3-and-D type of wing, but a guy who can also be a secondary playmaker as well. I love his upside.
And that was in a class with Ant, Maxey, and Halliburton. Just shows that they believe in him, and the sky's the limit for Deni. And finally, at number 1, the biggest star on this list, DOMANTIS Sabonis. Many of you may be scratching your heads, wondering how he got on this list, but Sabonis has almost finished the process of converting to Judaism. Regularly studies Torah, known to hang out at Chabad, keeps kosher regularly, and even when he's in Lithuania, he gets special kosher butchers to get himself chicken. His wife says he keeps holidays and Shabbat every week, and they were both married by a rabbi. This season, he will finally play alongside another star in DeRozan. Sabonis averaged a career-high 8.2 assists, which was the 6th most in the NBA last season. This duo is going to be absurdly good. I can point the numbers to it all day. Sabonis was on the All-NBA third team for the 2nd consecutive season this year, casually averaging 19.4 points and leading the NBA with 13.7 rebounds. And he still didn't make it to the All-Star game. He's one of just 6 players in NBA history to have at least 26 triple-doubles in a season, leading the league. Was 8th in MVP voting, 10th in Defensive Player of the Year voting, had absurd 60 straight double-doubles, had 77 double-doubles out of 82 games played, and was 7th in screen assists. And I think he can make a leap to win MVP or Defensive Player of the Year in the upcoming seasons that he's going to play. Hopefully he is a fully converted Jew too. If you enjoyed, please hit the like, please subscribe. This is my first ever YouTube video, so hopefully I didn't do too bad. Was a little sick while recording this, but tried my best. Comment what you think. And if I missed any players, just, tell me.